We continue to preview the 2025 college volleyball season. Our stop today is Grand Rapids, Michigan, as we get to visit with Megan Lenhart, who is the head volleyball coach for the Cornerstone Golden Eagles. Coach, heading into your 7th season with the program, 2024, it seemed to be a successful season, 20-11 overall, 12-6 in the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference. At 10-3, though, to close out the season, it seems like it just got better as the season went on. Tell us a little bit about 24.
Yeah, 2024 was kind of a year of validation. The season before was definitely a rebuilding season after a really great 22. And our seniors did an excellent job of kind of setting some really high standards for our program, leading really well, really worked on their leadership skills and how to hold their teammates accountable. We had some great success throughout the season. We actually started our season defeating Park University in their own gym, which I'm not a stats and numbers person, but it was their first home loss and some amazingly high number of tries. So we were pretty stoked about that and feeling pretty confident going into the rest of our season. And then it was kind of a story of just a lot of uncontrollables, which is sports, right? We had pneumonia run through our team and wreak havoc on our players. We were already kind of low in numbers this year as it was. So that kind of set us on our heels in the conference season. But we kept fighting and got some big wins down the road. We got some big non-conference wins right in the season over Grace. We took defending national champs Indiana Wesleyan to 16-14 in the 5th set. So that weekend really gave us confidence to finish our season strong. And unfortunately, in our last match, we were down with sick kids again. So it was an unfortunate way to end our season. We really felt like we were going to make a strong run in the conference tournament. But, the Lord directs our steps, and we just try to show up every day and do the best we can with what He's blessed us with. And we know that it was still a very successful season despite, not finishing quite where we wanted to.
Absolutely. It sounds successful, and the journey there sounded like it was quite a trip over the course of the year. Into the summertime right now, after the spring and then the summer, how are things going with the program? What's happening there at Cornerstone for you all and for the volleyball team?
Yeah, the spring season was really fun, really challenging because we had 4 awesome seniors to replace. Their stats maybe weren't the greatest in all the positions. Some of them there were, but more so their leadership, their personalities. We really were, looking to our next group of leaders to develop in their communication on how to deal with tough conversations. So our off season is a lot of skill work, but it's also a lot off the court. We actually do leadership training sessions together as a team and work through, how do you lead yourself well so that you can lead others well? And what does good communication look like? How do you handle those difficult conversations and actually practice them? So that was a really fun. That's the stuff that I love as a coach. I mean, I love volleyball, but I also love developing my players as leaders and as people. So it was great to dive into that. We finished our spring season with a scrimmage at Bethel and left really excited for what we saw from our team. And this summer, their goal is to just continue to get stronger, continue to get faster, and show up in August in shape, ready to go. And then there'll be a ton of learning in the preseason because we have 7 newcomers joining us. So, lots happening right now still, even though I don't get to see them very often.
Well, we look ahead then to 2025, and as you're developing those leaders, I know it was for your team last year, kind of Aubrey, and we'll talk about both of them as we go along. But one of them, a freshman last year, Aubrey Johnson, outside, led the team in kills, second on the team in digs, first team all region freshman of the year, honorable mention All-American. I mean, the accolades go on. for someone that you look at and go, wow, we could get this person for 4 years. That has to be a nice place. I hate to use the pun, a cornerstone for the program, but we'll go ahead and throw it out there anyway. But she's going to be a part of your offense along with Emily Murphy. Tell us a little bit about that offense in 2025.
Yeah, it was so fun to see Aubrey just have a great freshman year. And that was also while being sick and missing a whole weekend of play. So, pretty impressive what she was able to do. And, as an outside hitter, they're probably their most important part of their job is serve receive passing. And it's the one that gets overlooked the most. And as a freshman, she was one of our most consistent passers. So, that was a huge part of why we were still able to have great offensive success because, as a freshman, teams across the net are going to target her. They're going to see, how she's going to handle the pressure when it comes to serve receive. So that was exciting just to see her continue to be consistent. So we'll continue to be looking to her to carry that load and serve receive. I know you're going to bring up Aubrey Lenz, but she was a huge part of our offense. And so we're having to replace a two-time All-American setter. We're most likely transitioning to more of a 6-2 offense. So that means we will have 4 pin hitter positions to fill, and Aubrey and Emily Murphy are going to be a huge part of that. We have Dylan Hanna returning as well as another outside hitter. She's kind of our 7th person off the bench. I guess we don't have that term in volleyball, but to think in basketball terms, she's kind of the next woman up for us and has really shined in some key times, some high pressure situations. And so she's fighting for some more consistent playing time. And then we'll be looking to our newcomers to see who's going to fill that last spot for us.
I may have to coin that phrase then. Six men in basketball. There could be the 7th man award.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you do that since the libero is the 7th person. I don't know. I haven't come up with the perfect term for that yet.
That's a good point, Coach. I agree. We're visiting now with Coach Megan Lenhart from Cornerstone University here on Midwest Sportsnet, and I encourage you, please like this video, subscribe to the channel. We enjoy talking about small college sports and more throughout the Midwest and beyond. You mentioned Aubrey Lenz, so that we'll lead into that and talking about who may replace her. I have to ask, though, Coach, with Aubrey and Aubrey, how do you distinguish between the two when you're giving instruction out on the court? Which one went by Aubrey, or did either?
Yeah, so that's always a hot topic. We always seem to have duplicate names on our team. And kind of the fun thing that the girls do right away is work on nicknames for each other. So it started way back when actually Aubrey Lenz's class was freshmen or were freshmen because we had 2 Kylies. So we had to change a Kylie, and their nicknames have kind of come off of where they're from. So Kylie turned into Sal because she's from LaSalle, Michigan. And then Aubrey, hers just became AJ, Aubrey Johnson. So Aubrey Lenz got to keep Aubrey, and now Aubrey Johnson is pretty much AJ, unless she's at home with her mother. Her mother still calls her Aubrey. But this fall is going to be extra tricky because we have 3 Allies, all spelled differently. So they're working hard on nicknames for all 3. Well, one of them already has a nickname, but for our freshmen coming in. So that's always fun to hear what they come up with.
Well, you have to. That's important. You need to know who you're talking to, and they need to know who's getting that instruction, especially if there's more than one on the court at the time. Let's go to Aubrey Lenz then, another honorable mention All-American, as she obviously in the 5-1 last year, with better than 10 assists per set. And you're talking about making a little bit of a structure change there.
Yeah, I cannot say enough about Aubrey Lenz. She just did so much for us the last 4 years. 2023 was kind of a rebuilding, partly because she had to have a shoulder surgery the spring before that season. So she was kind of getting back to form in her junior year and just worked her tail off and was really back to what she looked like her sophomore year and was so proud of how she led led our team this year, even through continued pain. And she ended up having to have another surgery after her senior season. So she's just one of the toughest kids I've ever coached, and we're going to definitely miss her. We have a junior, no, sophomore, got to keep their new classes straight, a sophomore in Peyton Hutchinson. So she'll be coming in and helping with the offense. And then we have a junior, Allie Pignataro. Her nickname is Okie. She's from Okemos, Michigan. So they both did an excellent job this spring. Have just really grown in their communication and in their leadership, and really do a great job with their location, with their speed. So we're excited to see what they're going to bring to the table. And our 6'2" might not look like everybody else's. We like to, think outside of the box. So that is yet to be seen once we get all the pieces together. But hopefully we'll have a creative look to us in the fall.
Another one of those seniors that you were mentioning having to replace is Emma Whitley. She graduated as well, led the team, I guess, from your back row, 3.6 digs per set to lead the Golden Eagles. Tell us a little bit about what that defense might look like as you're coming into 2025.
Yeah, Emma was another outstanding leader for us and worked so hard on especially her mental game coming into the senior year, and just really proud of how she left the program. We actually have 4 girls who will all be fighting for that libero spot. Allie Pickard's the only returner that's had experience in the libero position. We have another junior, Olivia Indris, who had a great spring season. Has been working hard. We have sophomore Ava Ford. She was another one of our most consistent serve receive passers in the fall. So looking to see what she's going to bring to the table. And then freshman Gianna Warwick is coming in and has a ton of experience playing libero. So we think it's going to be quite the battle. It was fun to mix them around in the spring in our scrimmages. They all got experience in that position. So it's really going to be about what the team looks like when they're on the court. Volleyball is a sport that is played in the smallest area with the most people. So the way your team functions together, the way they move together, really is a huge thing. So be a lot of watching of that, and obviously a lot of statistics when it comes to passing and digs and who's putting us in the best place to score.
It's interesting, Coach. I really hadn't thought of it from that perspective. That's going to stay with me for a while. That the smallest amount of space there, and the proximity of all those players within that 9x9 look, really that's a good point. I'm going to keep that one. All right, I may give you credit for it too. I may not. But anyway, no. As we get to know you a little bit more, the question of the summer has been this, Coach. What is your favorite '80s song or '80s band?
Yeah, I did a little quick Googling because I was born in '82, but maybe not super into music quite yet. But I'm gonna have to go with "Living on a Prayer" by Bon Jovi. Actually got to see them in concert when I graduated high school with some good friends, and actually a teacher that we had in high school who loved them. So that's a core memory and a huge hit from that era.
All right, that works. That's a good one. And listen, that's a good song with a good beat for athletics too. That's
Yeah.
that they could play in the weight room and go from there. All right, Coach. Onset tournament to get things going. That's over in Fort Wayne. And then you have 3 road matches, 3 home matches before you get into conference play in the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference. Tell us a little bit about 2025 schedule.
Yeah, we are back to double round robin in our conference this year, which is exciting. Last year we had a little bit of an unbalanced schedule, so those weekends we had illness really killed us because we only got to play those teams one time. So we get a double shot at everybody this year, and I think our non-conference schedule is going to put us in a really good position. Get us prepared for that season. We've really tried the last couple of years to focus on scheduling against teams that are in our ARC, which is our ratings group that directly feeds into who gets chosen for the national tournament and what your seeding is. So we have found that just to be really important. So all of our opponents except one during the preseason are in our arc. So I'm excited to see how we'll stack up against them. Pretty sure we'll get to play Columbia International as well, who is a team that's been in the top 25 for the last few years. So we try not to shy away from good competition. We want to play the best because we want to be the best. So it's not just about padding that record and our stats. We want to get out there, be tested so that come conference season, we feel prepared going into battle because our conference is all over the place. There are nights where we get back to the scores and we can't believe what has happened. Like some nights, just anybody can beat anybody. So we want to be battle tested so that we can be the most consistent team and walk away with a conference championship.
All right, Coach. Well, we'll follow the Golden Eagles this season, and success to you all as you head into 2025. Coach Megan Lenhart with Cornerstone University. Coach, thank you so much for previewing the season and taking time with us today here on Midwest Sportsnet.
Thanks so much.